welcome. You are here for the first edition of a new show called Learn Well, Be Well. This is a show that's been talked about here at LaSalle University for a few years, and we're really excited that we're able to get it off the ground today. My name is Kate WARD-GAUS. I'm the Assistant Vice President for Student Wellness Services at LaSalle University. And in this, the first episode, I'm going to be joined by some of my favorite colleagues here at LaSalle who also have their own commitments to the health and well-being of LaSalle students. And we really are hoping that through the tips and information that we're going to provide, it's something that can be generalized to larger audiences. So let's go on a journey, and I'm going to introduce my first guest, Rob McIntosh. Rob is the Director of Recreation here at LaSalle University, and he's going to help illuminate on that particular department and what they add to the value of creating a culture of wellness here at LaSalle University. Now let me step back 1 minute to say that there are 7 different areas, 7 dimensions of wellness, and that they include social, they include emotional, they include intellectual, they include occupational, they include environmental, and also physical well-being. And well-being is a state of being content, comfortable, happy, fulfilled in any of these different areas. So Rob, your area of recreation, in my mind particularly, talks about physical well-being, and while there might be overlap, it mostly focuses on physical. So tell us a little bit about your department.
So in recreation, we offer much to the students. Intramurals, club sports. Club sports are, we get to play against teams outside of LaSalle. And with intramurals, you play against other students on campus, which is always fun. So we have 8 different intramural programs offered. The most popular, flag football, basketball, softball, and volleyball. But also at recreation, we have Explore Fitness, which is several different programs where it's free to the faculty, staff, and students. And it's just a time of chance you go. You can do Zumba, you can do yoga, boot camp, cardio core, and different ways for people to get like that workout in, but also use it as a stress release.
Yes.
Or recreation is also part of just the special events on campus. We're technically the ones who take care of the stuff that's done at night because we're here late. Fitness center is open till 11, Monday to Thursday. And a lot of kids take advantage of that. Like most nights, we are waiting for kids to leave at 11 o'clock because they're in there. Like I said, it's open. It's a big area for the students to go to. So it's
You once told me that you also have a group that are there first thing in the morning. What's first thing in the morning for you?
So first thing in the morning for me is 6:45 in the morning. I'm there making sure the gym's ready to go. And at 6:50, I have kids knocking on the door because they know I'm there. So, and I'm not going to say no. I let them in. And they come in and they get their work on and start their day early.
And the intramural and the club sports, they're not what is known as the varsity athletes or the teams that compete through the NCAA standards, correct?
We're not part of NCAA, but it's still an opportunity for kids to play a sport, be competitive, be physical, and to be active. And it's more about the active, and that's how I view recreation. At one point, as in with the trainings, we offer personal training. Like I said, we offer the group fitness, but I like to be more active. So also too with that, I mean, I have battle ropes, I have tires, I've created programs for the students to go. We've done like competitions, fitness competitions that hasn't been like popular, but we do have kids sign up for it. So I figure if I keep pushing it, then we can get that popular and make recreation more than just, hey, this is what there's club sports and intramurals and go to the gym.
Yeah.
Trying to go beyond that.
I mean, one of the things from my position, conversations I've had with students, not every high school student athlete is able to play on the intramural, collegiate, yes, the intercollegiate level. So the fact that we have club sports and that we have intramurals means that students can then still have that outlet even though they might not be competing in the way they had been in high school, which is really important for your sense of well-being. If you're in high school and you're you know, sense of who you are is based on how you're performing in a particular sport, and then you're not competing in that way. So this is an outlet to be able to compete.
It's definitely an outlet, and it's definitely a change for students. Like, they'll come to a school and be like, oh, I played 4 years of varsity, but then they get to a college and they're like, you're not playing varsity, so what do you do with yourself? So recreation is that area where people get to go. And it's like, all right, I can play a sport, club sport, or I can go to the gym, or I can participate in intramurals or fitness class.
What's one of our most popular intramural?
Right now, I'm going to say basketball. We have at least 34 teams. We have 6 co-rec teams right now, which is male and female playing together, and the rest is male teams.
And what about the teams where we're playing City 6 and that City 6 being the Big 5, but includes Drexel? So the teams that are playing outside, but with other club sports, in other words, right?
Yeah, so club sports will play outside. So they'll play schools like Monmouth, Rowan, Ryder, Drexel, Penn. There's other schools like Williams College.
Right.
So stuff like that, like there's different ones that you play. It's outside, so there's a lot of travel. For club sports, they pay like a team due. Team dues, and then that helps them to pay for traveling, to pay for uniforms, to pay to go to tournaments. And then for intramurals, it's just most leagues it's a pay league, pay to play league, and we go that way. But that's just really amongst the LaSalle students. And then for the top 4 that I mentioned, those are the teams that get to go play in a City 6 tournament, which now you play Temple's winners, St. Joe's winner, Drexel's winner, Villanova's winner, and Penn's winner. And it's a big tournament. And at the end, you win, you get nice gear, some swag, and bragging rights for a whole year.
We always like that.
Everybody loves bragging rights.
So what about the fitness classes? What's some of the 2 most popular in the fitness?
2 most popular right now is yoga. We average anywhere from 20 to 25 students, and that's not counting if the sports teams show up. The sports teams have been taking advantage of it lately because they're like, oh, it's offered, it's free. The coach is like, go, get your yoga on, get your stretch on. Zumba has starting to make its way up. So those are our top 2 popular ones. And then any class that I do, I get about 5 or 6 people.
So talk a little bit about your the class that I haven't taken because it sounds too hard.
So every year I try to do a cardio core class, or I break it up into sections where it's, first part is like just individualized areas where we just keep switching. So it's like 1 minute here and you switch to the next one, and called circuits. So we go from there, and then I do something where it's where I like to call it the pain workout, where it's like push-ups, dips, burpees, and stuff like that. And then after that we do a lot of abs, and after that we do like a cool down, which is some kind of fun activity. Like, for example, we'll play a song, the movie song Bring Sally Up. I like to call it the Sally Up Down Challenge. You have to go, when the song says up, you have to go up. Song says down, you go down. It's a 4.5 minute song. I normally do it with squats or with crunches. And that's the best part about it.
It sounds great. And maybe someday I'll get there. We'll see.
I'd like to see you there.
So one of the things I've appreciated, I mean, I've been here at LaSalle for a while. You've been here at LaSalle for a while. But we've certainly increased the level of collaboration we've had in terms of the areas of wellness and well-being. And one of them is the living learning community that we have for students. Why were you interested in collaborating? It's a little different than some of the other things you do. Why have you collaborated with this program where we have students who are living together on the same floor because they're committed to wellness? Why is that important?
So what grabbed me about it was the fact that, like, I get to take another step into helping create like healthiness or fitness and awareness with like a certain group that is excited. And then having that part of also connecting recreation with something outside of just athletics or sports. So now we're not looking at sports and physical activity. Now we're looking at, have you some of the 7 points you mentioned earlier, like just want to be part of that. I thought it was a good venture, a good step for recreation to take and to partner up with that.
So I mentioned that I had a question I was going to ask kind of towards the end, which is if you had to like take everything that you know about the importance of physical activity and in terms of well-being and what people can do to get into it, improve it, enhance it. If you could say one thing that a tip of sorts for people to enhance their well-being in the area of physical wellness?
So I look at it as my one tip. It's kind of a funny gesture, but it gets people thinking that when you work out, a workout's like a relationship, you can't cheat on it and expect it to work. So you must put your full heart into it and you will see results.
So what I like about this, Rob, is that you're giving multiple tips within the one tip. You're giving relationship advice, and you're also giving, so don't cheat on it. Make a commitment to it and stick to that commitment. Yes. Is there a particular type of activity or not? Like, what's your favorite workout?
My favorite workout is anything that has to do with not running. So lifting and is my favorite.
Yeah.
Not more of a cardio person, but I do put cardio in my workout where I'll do a circuit one, or I do a lot of reps. So that's my favorite.
So, you know, I work in student wellness services. Any advice for our department in terms of how we can do our job better to improve and enhance?
It's not so much doing a better job, it's just actually being able to show that the students and other members that you participating in fitness classes, or you are saying, hey students, I do this, or I take this walk, or we do this jog, just certain activities. Like for example, when we did the hike, that's a perfect example right there of showing students that, look, I was part of hiking. And everybody knows how strenuous hiking can be because you're either going up hills, or you're avoiding rocks, or you're falling, or you're trying not to fall down. Yeah.
And we're going to talk about the hike a little bit later in the next part of our segment. So I just want to thank you for joining me this afternoon, Rob. The work that you do in recreation is really important. I'm really glad that we're collaborating. I'm looking forward to even more collaboration.
As am I.
I appreciate that you're, you know, anything that involves not running, because I too, I like to walk. I'm a walker.
Bad knees, football, so many years.
Yep. And so, you know, I think I want to maybe start doing more with, we have monthly walks at lunch here at LaSalle. I want to maybe up the number of times that we do that. So
sounds good.
Great stuff.
I'll be there to help you.
So thanks again, and we're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we'll meet two more of my favorite wellness partners here at LaSalle University and talk a little bit more about how you can improve your health and well-being.
Wake each morning and get lost in the adventure, knowing that you will be ready for wherever the day takes you. Learn from those willing to teach. Their wisdom and their strength will become yours. They will impart to you a tradition of education nationally recognized for its value. A tradition worthy of your best efforts. As young men and women of LaSalle, we will invest in you the guidance to blaze your own path. To go forth into the unknown with new certainty. To realize your full potential as professionals, as leaders, as citizens. To take up your place as the accountants, speech therapists, journalists, and CEOs of your generation. To impact this city and the world beyond. These adventures are yours, and you are ready for them. Explorers are never lost.
Welcome back. So this is the second half of our first show of Learn Well, Be Well here at LaSalle University. And as I mentioned before, this is an opportunity for us to talk about our creating a culture of well-being here at LaSalle University, how we're doing it, with the hope that some of the information that we have is applicable to many of you in the viewing audience, and we believe it is. Creating a culture of wellness and well-being is really something that applies to everyone, not just college students. The challenge often with college students is some of the misperceptions out there, and the misperception is that college students are lousy at taking care of themselves, that they stay up too late, that they don't eat right, that they might use some substances that aren't necessarily good for them. What I know from my years of working here at LaSalle and in higher education is that that's not the case. College students really do care about their health and well-being as much as anybody else, and that we just need to create the opportunities to help them grow that. So two of my other favorite partners in doing this are Kim Brown. Hi, Kim, who's the Assistant Director of the Substance Abuse and Violence Education Center, and Duran Jennings, who is I don't want Duran to leave, so I say he's a junior, and I think I'm right this time.
That is correct.
A junior here at LaSalle University, a business major.
Correct.
And, but also for me, and how I know Duran is he is the resident advisor for our wellness, living, and learning community. Kim is also, along with Rob, another one of the staff advisors to that committee, and the committee to plan the event. So the Wellness, Living, and Learning community is for first-year students, and they apply to live there on this theme floor. We have some other themes as well, but the wellness theme is pretty broad, and when we were reviewing applications, we were wondering, how is this going to work? We had some students who clearly wanted to join the Wellness, Living, Learning community because they were interested in improving their physical well-being. Some, they're emotional. Others, they're spiritual. From our perspective, all of that improves their intellectual and to a certain extent, their occupational. So we have activities and events in all those different areas, and I have the pleasure of working with them and planning it. But Kim has a day job too, and she also is responsible for developing programs for students, and actually we've gotten Kim to do some work with some staff too. So I'm going to have her talk about a couple of those initiatives. And let me start with the work that you do with the peer educators, and maybe you could talk about how the peer educators who are interested in wellness issues self-select in or use it as a course requirement, and then what their activities are like.
Sure. So I'm the advisor of the peer educator. So peer educator is a student-led wellness organization here at LaSalle University. So the students are able to plan and develop wellness program here at LaSalle. On any topic that they choose to. It could be on mental health, it could be on stress management, healthy eating, it could be on any topic they want. So we meet every second and third Thursday in Heyman Hall 227 for a few minutes, and we talk about different topics. So the past events we have done were, we have done Pause for Pause, which is closer to Finals Week, First Stress Buster Week. We had the Paint Your Stress Away, where students can go out in a quad and paint different painting and different drawing, which was really fun. They had a great time doing that. We brought pet therapies, therapy dogs here on campus. We made our own stress balls. We have done a lot of programming here at LaSalle, a lot. And we have a few more that's coming up soon. And we're trying to bring a speaker to come on campus and do a lot of mental health awareness around that topic. Yes. So anyone can join that club. You do not have to be or have any wellness background. We have people in the past who are like business major or like bio major, and they're part of the club. So yes, anyone can join. And
then you, this semester, starting in January, you and the other members of the Student Wellness Services made a commitment to something called the Explorer Elite. I feel like I have the name wrong.
Yes, so a few of my colleagues in the department, we are having a fitness challenge. It's called the Explorer Elite Fitness Challenge. So the challenge is for 12 weeks, and our participants can earn points based on completing or accomplishing different goals. So if you have a partner and you motivate your partner to work out or drink water or eat healthy, you earn a point. If you exercise, eat your vegetables, fruit, and stuff like that, you earn the points. So it's for 12 weeks, and we're in our 3rd week right now.
Yes.
And some of us are really going through it, but some of us are hanging in there, and we're really doing it. So I'm excited.
Talk a little bit about what the incentive is.
Well, you have to pay money
it.
towards it,
Right.
but a lot of people are doing it because they want that motivation to be healthy.
Right.
A lot of time people have like the New Year resolution, like eating healthy and working out, and sometimes you fall off within the first few weeks. So with this challenge, for it being 12 weeks, it's going to encourage everyone to keep it going more than just the first month, the second month, like for the 3rd month of the new year.
So Duran, I was talking to Kim about the idea of this, the 12 weeks with the staff being a little bit of a experimental testing ground for the format, because maybe that's something that we introduce to our students in the Wellness LLC. How's that?
That sounds pretty cool, actually. I think they would be able to get behind that, and something that they would like and enjoy. I would like that.
So why don't you talk a little bit about the Wellness LLC and how you came to be the resident advisor for it? You were a resident advisor before.
Yes.
You had a choice. You didn't have to be the resident advisor for this community. What about it was attractive to you?
So when I heard that the last person that used to work his name was Dave, and since he was graduating, I know that they needed somebody to take over. Now I know that I wasn't sure, because I went from having 28 guys last year to 18 girls and two guys this year, so it was like a huge switch up for me. Yeah. But it was one of those things that I was like, I want to try this out. I want to try and, I want to have both girl and guy residents. I didn't know I was going to get as many girls as I did, but I did end up getting that many, so, I worked with it, but it was just something that I wanted to do because I know that it would, help me in other aspects. And, I've learned lots from working with, so many girls. I've been more conscientious and stuff along those lines. But the thing that really caught my attention was just, I love to work out. I love to eat healthy. So I wanted to, help that transition from high school and home to the residents as, easy and as pleasant as I could. And as a person who's been in college for 2 years now, I feel like I've been doing a good job, staying fit, being active on campus, so I wanted to give these skills to the first year students as well. So I was like, why don't I try and get that position of LLC? And then on top of that, I was told that you were going to be running it, and that, my old boss Alexis used to tell me about how, helpful you were and how, encouraging you were of everything. And ever since, I actually did end up joining it, you've been all those things that she said, so just added to it.
Thank you for the props, but
yes.
I love what I do, and I love the mission and our commitment, but it only goes so far if you're doing it by yourself. You have to have good teammates.
Very true.
So talk a little bit about the relationship between some of the activities that we chose to do and actually being a college that's in Philadelphia. I mean, what have been some of the advantages for us with regard to that?
Yeah, so, we've done multiple things so far, but we've gone to a circus school, we've gone ice skating, we've gone hiking, and there's more things that we've done, but whenever we do these things, I always make sure that, the students are understanding that while you're in Philly, because not everybody's going to be from, I'm from Harrisburg, not everybody's going to be from Philly or, get the chance to live in Philly. So I make sure that they, completely capture the moment and, that they know that they can go into the city whenever they want. They can go explore Philadelphia on their own and, enjoy the moment as best they can. Yeah. So, when we're doing these things, we're trying to get them involved, not only on campus, but around, around the city of Philadelphia. So when we went hiking, for instance, I remember we were walking and I just said, everybody take a second, just pause and stop and just look around you. Look how beautiful the sky is, making sure that they, took the time to be grateful for what they do have. Not everybody has the opportunity to walk and go on hikes and do these kind of things that we're doing, especially in a great city like Philly. Right. So I made sure that they got the, look around and just really take in the moment And that's what I always try and remind them to do.
I appreciated the suggestion on your part that we do that. I mean, I'm a Philly resident. I've been a Philly resident all my life. The hike was in the Wissahickon, and I had done some of the trails in the Wissahickon network before, but not all of them, and was totally taken by the fact that you could get deep enough in that you wouldn't even imagine that you were in the middle and surrounded by the city. The ice skating on Dilworth Plaza, I mean, that was pretty special because
Yes,
that was
definitely.
also a twofer because we rode the subway, had our little mix up on the subway with the doors closing before we were all in. But we got everybody there safely and back safely. But then having the students who, most of them had not ever been down there before to Center City and to City Hall to see the vibrancy and just how much Philadelphia has to offer and the beauty. So yeah, so that was a special time for me as well. So moving forward, you know, what do you think are the two of you? What are some ideas that you have about what we can do to improve the well-being and the wellness of the campus? Stumped. Who wants to go first?
I mean, honestly, just doing simple things, you know, making sure that you become more organized as a person is the one way I like to start off, because when people tend to get, like, you know, cluttered and, you know, they're not taking care of themselves properly and they get disorganized, that's when I feel like a lot of the problems come in, and then they're rushing through things, overthinking things instead of just staying organized and, you know, staying intact. So that's definitely one way that I think, you know, helps me a lot at least, and I think that will help the campus as well.
I think for me, like having a buddy or a friend.
Yeah.
So if you and another friend has like a topic that you care about or you're passionate about, come together and see if you can have a program focused on that topic. Or like keep each other accountable. If you want to work out, like, hey, every Tuesday and Thursday we're going to work out, call your friend so that you can work out together. Or if you want to drink more water, I don't know, you know, keep one another accountable. I think that's very important.
And I think I want to piggyback on what the two of you do. You know that I'm a practicing mindful meditation person, and you gave a great example of it from the hike when you had everybody at one point just stop and look up and notice the sky. And I do find that our world is very busy, the world for students, for anybody who's working, for moms, for dads, for everybody, and that what we've kind of lost is the ability to, I worry that what many of us have lost is the ability to stay still and just be by ourselves and with ourselves for even a minute or 2 minutes. Put the phone away, turn the TV off, and look up. And so if I had to say, I want us in our work to encourage as many people as possible to do your suggestion, be more organized, your suggestion, find a buddy, and what I would add to that is that we learn how to be still now and then and take a time out for ourselves. So I think that can be for our students, that can be for our faculty, that can be our staff, that can be for our neighbors, for our families. And so I think we have a lot to offer. And it reminds me to practice it all myself because I'm not 100% of the time. So I want to thank you all for watching today and for joining us in this first of our opportunities to talk about wellness and increasing your well-being. We will be back. We're going to come back in April for a second edition of Learn Well, Be Well. We have an email address. You can write to wellness@lasalle.edu, and if you have any ideas or suggestions about topics. And so thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you again.